Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and today I'd like to share with you on how a narcissist or a toxic ex can lure you back into the relationship. I'm going to share with you on some of the techniques they might use. These techniques will also apply in any kind of relationship where you've just left your ex and your ex wants to win you back. I want you to picture this. Imagine that you've left that toxic relationship, you are now enjoying your life, you are healing, and you started even forgetting about your ex, and then your phone vibrates. Then on checking the text, you find that it's a message from your toxic ex, and they're probably using like a new phone number, because let's say you had blocked them in all channels, and the message goes something like, hey, I just want to wish you a happy anniversary, I miss you so much, and I'm so sorry for what happened between us. Of course, this message will leave you so confused, as it takes you back to the honeymoon phase of that relationship where they treated you like a royalty. You'll be filled with thoughts like, wow, they remembered our anniversary and they even apologized. I think they've changed and they still love me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you've been successfully lured back into that toxic relationship by a manipulative person. A narcissistic relationship is never really over, even after they've left the relationship. They'll still try pulling all the tricks in the book so as to win you back. And when I say all tricks here, it means that even things that will poke your human side. This is because to them it's all about supplying their needs. So there's no limit of what they can do to win you back. They will also try to win you back, especially when they feel that you are starting to move on or when you are thriving in life. This is what's called hoovering. It's called mostly like a narcissist hoover, where a narcissist will try to suck you back into that traumatic relationship. And you see, a narcissist hoover does not have an end. A narcissist will reach you without even any limits, any boundaries, and they may even try to reach you when you are newly married or in a new relationship, or years later, or just unexpectedly. They may even reach you when you have children. To a narcissist, it's exciting to know that they can knock the doors of their past exes and still get their needs met. Hoovering can happen through a phone call, email, text message, social media, or even them showing up at your door. They might also send a third party, or they might use your kids if you have shared custody, just to convey a message across. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some signs to watch out for when a narcissist wants to regain their power and control over you. These examples will also apply to that pushy ex or that overbearing ex who wants to win you back. The first thing a narcissist will do when they're trying to win you back is they may send this lengthy apology where they swear that they won't hurt you and that they've changed their behaviors. They will show some remorse and will also state to you that they are currently working on themselves and that you should give them one last chance to prove themselves. And something about these apologies, I know that you probably received many of these apologies. So they'll just go to this extent trying to hoover you back into that relationship. Another thing a toxic ex can do to hoover you back into the relationship is threatening to harm themselves if you don't go back to them, or if you don't listen to what they are saying. They will go to the extent of telling you that they are going to commit suicide if you don't pick up their phones, if you don't pick up your phone and respond to their messages. This is the toughest one of them all, because it will stir your compassionate center and you may find yourself bowing down for their demands. It's a tough pill to chew, but even if someone is threatening to harm themselves or to kill themselves, that's still manipulation. And the best thing to do here is not to really call them. The best thing to do is if you feel that they are in immediate danger, you can redirect that call or that conversation to local emergency services or suicide prevention lines. But don't take that as actually you really want to help them from their threats, because at the end of the day, if someone is threatening to kill themselves because of you, It means that they can go to any extent to manipulate you. So just redirect them to relevant mental health channels like or a suicide prevention hotline in your local area. Another tactic a toxic ex may pull is also like sending you a message that you when you least expect. The nature of these messages is something that really takes you back to those memories you shared together or to something nostalgic. It can be a message like, "Hey, I visited our favorite restaurant today and it really took me back." These messages really trigger those memories you had together, and you might find yourself wanting to call them back. A manipulative person may also try to pass a message across using some of your close friends, loved ones, or even children. They'll use other people to convey a message to you either directly or indirectly. They might share with your friends how much they miss you, how deeply they regret their actions, so that the friend will innocently pass that message across. Of course, even the friend may genuinely convince you on their behalf. The friend might say something like, "I really think that they've changed, and they from the expression or from the way they said it, I feel that they still love you." And that's how you've reopened the channel to communicate with your toxic ex. Another way a narcissist may hoover you is when they remember those important dates. A narcissist may surprise you with a message, phone call, or even a gift during your most important days like anniversary, your birthday, or even congratulate you on a new job promotion. What this will do is it will make you really lower your guard, and you may find yourself calling them back to thank them of what they've told you. And that's how you've been hoovered back into the relationship. Another straw a narcissist will pull to hook you back into the relationship is excessively showering you with words of affection, admiration, and validation, just like they did during the honeymoon phase of the relationship. They will flatter you with beautiful words and actions you've only seen in movies like Princess and the Frog, probably. This can be something like sending expensive gifts or flowers to your office, lengthy poetic messages, just to try to impress you and really put you in a higher pedestal. A narcissist may also make false accusations so that you can give them your attention. These accusations may make you feel guilty and will even tempt you to reach out to them as you seek to defend yourself. And that's how you reopen the channel of communication with them. The other thing a narcissist will do to hoover you back is to spread rumors about you. They will spread false information to people around you. This is just a way to stir that pot so that you find yourself really trying to call that narcissist or that toxic ex to make amends or to tell them to stop what they are doing. It's also a way of trying to isolate you from your support network so that you can feel that the only one you can reach out to is your ex, or you can feel you may even feel that you want to apologize to them so that they can stop what they are doing. The last straw of the narcissist hoover is a narcissist hinting or telling you that they will provide you with the future they had promised before. It can be something like they finally want to buy you that house by the mountains you had always dreamed of, or they can tell you something like they've already booked the vacation for two in the sandy beaches of place like Watamu or just any beach. This of course furthering the future faking that had been taking place in the relationship, but now they are really swearing that they will do it and they will make that future they promised to come through. And that's how you've been successfully pulled back into the cycle of the relationship, because you will be wanting and you are still desiring that future they promised you. So how do you respond to a narcissist hoover? You see, a narcissist hoover will make you feel vulnerable, guilty, confused, and insecure, because this technique will trigger memories you had with your toxic ex, and you may even find yourself opening your door, giving them another chance. And this is how you will find yourself being entangled in another abusive cycle, which amplifies the negative feelings or the trauma you already had. The best way to deal with a narcissist hoover is to keep firm boundaries and not take anything you see at face value. Like, don't just take what someone tells you, like, I've changed, I've done this and this, at face value. Scrutinize. It's also good to understand that a narcissist will always try to manipulate you and win you back. Regardless of if you now have a new relationship, regardless of if it's 10 years, they will always try to do it. Here's the thing. Even if your ex has not been clinically diagnosed as a narcissist or like of a higher spectrum, and you are convinced that they've changed or they will change in case you are still in that relationship, or even if it's just a normal unhealthy relationship, or even if it was just a misunderstanding in quotes, and you still have this feeling that your ex has changed, or you convince yourself that, oh, it was just bipolar or all those other conditions, the best thing to do is to just pause first. Like, pause here means that you give yourself time, not even a day, not just a month, say even half a year or more, or even more than half a year, just to scrutinize if the change they are telling you about is permanent. Is a permanent change or permanent transformation. This is because even if we talk about this like your ex has not changed, there's always that feeling, that hope you will cling on to till the last minute that your ex is going to change. Even if they've changed, just pause. Do not take what they tell you, or do not take that I've changed or the actions they might display that indicate that they've changed at face value. Give yourself time. Now, during this time you're giving yourself, this is the period where now, like, you can have that deep, honest conversation with yourself on why you want to go back to your ex, without being influenced by hormones, which of course, because your hormones will try to pull you back, or your emotions will try to pull you back to that relationship, because that's where you are used to. So regardless of if a relationship was toxic or just unhealthy and you want to go back to it, give yourself time. Because if you are going to that relationship, you are not going for that relationship for a month, because like you want to stay in that relationship for a long time. So it's okay, you can just say, you've changed, but it's okay, let me just take 6 months, 1 year, and then we'll see how it goes. This will really give you time to scrutinize yourself and understand yourself more. And the more you do this, the more it will mean that you will start seeing that person without being influenced by the emotions or by the hormones. You'll see that person rationally, without because probably your reality is still tainted or distorted because they might have manipulated you or because of trauma. So this time is healed to the point that you can see that person for who they are, and you can even be the kind of person who can uphold healthy boundaries, or can say no, or deeply understand how they deserve to be treated. So regardless of if your ex is diagnosed a narcissist or what and what, it doesn't matter. Give yourself time to have a healthy relationship with yourself, to understand yourself, to understand your needs, to understand your boundaries, to understand how to say no, so that now you can think with a different lens, and not with a lens which is desperate for that connection or desperate to get back together. That's the best advice I can give you guys. Even if you're still in that relationship and you are taking a break, use that break to work on yourself to the point that you deeply feel that you cannot fall prey to words or just like a face value kind of qualities in another human being. Hope you found that informative, guys. Until next time, see ya.